Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another one of my reviews. This is for the TV show Run the World that plays on Stars. I don't know how many of you guys watched it. I did. It was a really great show, and because I did not review it episode by episode, now that the show has come to its first season finale, I'm gonna go ahead and review the show. Just give my overall thoughts and opinions of it. And so, well, make sure you like, share, and subscribe if that's what you're led to. If not, just kick back and listen. So when Stars first showed the trailer, I was immediately intrigued from the first preview of this show. The colors, the scenery, Harlem is a storyline within itself. Seeing just a smidge of Ella, Renee, Sandy, and Whitney, I couldn't wait until the premiere of the show. One of the things I like about it is that Run the World is such a well-written show. Not only does it bring refreshing, colorful, and layered storylines that has its share of drama, there's also an intellectual aspect in the writing that is compelling, and it's very compelling to me. And so I'm glad that nothing was dumbed down to entice a certain demographic of viewers. The dialogue, the storylines, the camaraderie reflects my personal sisterhood, my personal sister circle. And so I really love that because sometimes, we live in a society where, attention spans aren't that long. And sometimes, the dialogue is not very good. Well, that cannot be said about Run the World. It is definitely reflective of my life. And I could definitely see me and my friends in every last one of these characters. And so I definitely enjoyed seeing four very different Black women depicted as leads. With Run the World being 30 minutes, I was shocked. And even though it's 30 minutes, I feel like sometimes I feel like the show go by so fast. And then sometimes I feel like we got so much within those 30 minutes. But I think the writing team does a great job with giving each character and their storyline fair attention. Because sometimes when you watch shows where you have multiple leads, there's always maybe one or two characters whose storyline really don't get the attention that it deserves. And I can honestly say that I did not see that with Run the World, even though I did want to see more on Renee and her husband after he moved out. But you know what I'm saying? That wasn't no big deal. So nevertheless, we see these four women on their own individual journeys as well as their journey as friends. I was asked who was my favorite character, and the truth is, I don't have one just yet. Maybe, if season 2, maybe I'll have one, but I don't have one yet. But if I just had to make a choice, I would say Ella. Honestly, I see myself in all four of these women, whether they represent a part of me in the past or they represent who I am or a part of me presently. For example, I'm going to start with Renee. Renee is played by the hilarious Brisha Webb, and I think that she did a great job portraying this character. She's headstrong. She walks by the beat of her own drum, and I can definitely identify with that. I have also acted, prematurely off of emotions at times and didn't consider the full picture. Emotional or irrational decision making only allows us to see in the moment. And so I could relate to that. And so when Renee, walked into her house and realized that Jason was gone, which is her husband, the look on her face said it all. So for those who really didn't watch the show like that, Renee basically wanted a divorce from her husband, Jason, because he did some foul crap. I won't get into it. You make sure you go watch it and stream it on Stars. And even though that was what she wanted, living in the reality of our desires is not always what we imagine it to be. Like, you wanted a divorce, you wanted him gone. He was gone. And once she realized that, she had this look on her face that was just like, damn, what did I do? Now I have to live this. Now I have to live within the reality of what I said I wanted. And so just let me clarify. I am not making an excuse or justifying what Jason did, because he deserved to get his ass handed to him for taking their money. Like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you go stream Run the World on Stars. Now let's get into Whitney. Whitney was a talk of the town them last couple episodes, because Whitney did something. Let's just get into Whitney. I can relate to Whitney as it pertains to not knowing when to let go of a relationship, knowing whether or not this relationship is beneficial or serving you some type of purpose. Now, personally, I wouldn't have cheated to come to that realization. I don't play that. I've never cheated. I don't cheat. And I definitely, if I was going to cheat, I definitely wouldn't have cheated with someone who's considered community dick. But that's what she did. So we all know what community dick is. Community dick is a dude around the way who sleep with everybody, who has no type of standard. Everybody can get a turn. And that's who Whitney decided to have sex with. So by her doing that, that lets me know she wasn't looking for someone to replace Ola, which is her fiance. She wasn't looking for a personal connection. She wasn't looking for anything deep. She just wanted to explore someone sexually other than Ola. And I think she just wanted to know if she was missing something, because she had been with this man for so long. She wasn't the woman who went to college and wilded out. She was faithful and committed to this same person ever since she was in college. I can't relate to that. I don't even really, promote that. I think is great if you find someone, that young or that soon. My only hang up with that is, if that's all you know, if that's all you have experienced, how do you know that that's what you really want for the rest of your life? So, like I said, I don't agree with cheating, but I also could understand the mindset that Whitney was in. So with her situation, Twitter was really entertaining, because you had some people who believed that she should tell her fiance what she did. And then you had those who were on the other side and was like, don't tell that man nothing. He don't need to know. Now, I was on the side of tell Ola that you had sex with somebody else, only because personally, that's what I would do. I am not built to carry a secret that huge. It would eat away at me. I'm just not built for that. That's why I tell on myself. Don't get me wrong. I've done some pretty shitty things in my life, and I always tell on myself. I always tell the person in which, the shitty deed was done to. I can't live in secret. I think the longest secret I've held was for about a week. Now, I can keep my friends' secrets. That's not a thing. I got a whole bunch of secrets on them. But when I have wronged someone, I have to inform them, because I cannot look someone in their eyes day after day knowing I've done something grimy to them and keeping them in the dark about it. So, I always tell on myself. And so there was a sex scene that I'm not going to get into, but like I said, go stream the show on Starz, where Ola and Whitney had sex after she told him what she did. But I'll say this, Ola wasn't using any words, but he damn sure allowed his body to play out his narrative. That was some hurt, mad, and angry sex. There was nothing passionate about that. But you go watch it and you be the judges for yourself. So the next character is Ella. I really relate to Ella on a professional level. Ella has a job. However, she doesn't have a career. She's a writer. I'm also a writer. She knows it's more to her life, more to her purpose than writing for an online gossip site. Ella definitely goes for what she wants professionally and when it comes to men. So I'm going to get on the professional side first. She really goes hard for what she wants, because Ella put out a book. And the book didn't do well, but she put all her marbles in this one particular, thing, believing that this book was going to blow up. She was going to be a best-selling author. She was going to be touring, and this book was going to change her life. And in essence, the book did, but on the other side, it wasn't successful. It wasn't this breakout, story that she thought it was going to be. Quite the contrary. It just wasn't good. People did not like it, and especially because she showed one facet of herself on social media. So people were expecting to get that in her book. But when they read her book, it was something completely different than what she promotes on her personal social media platforms or whatnot. Now with the men, Ella had 2 sexual experiences other than, her longtime love, Anderson. And both of those sexual experiences were a bust. And not in the way she wanted it to be. But I do like the fact that Ella is confident in her sensuality. And I know that sex is still a taboo topic, which is ridiculous at this point. Yet I enjoyed how it was written into her storyline, because she didn't come off as, to me, she didn't come off as nasty or trashy or whatever. She just wanted to explore somebody. She took the risk of it and realized that both of those things were trash. So, y'all really want to see that, make sure you stream the show. And so, let's get to Anderson. So Anderson is fine. Anderson is one great looking man. So when we were first introduced to him, we know that there's some deep love there and there's some deep hurt there, but we didn't know which one was going to outweigh the other. And so it was deep when all your girls don't like a particular guy in your life. It's understood that he did something trifling. So I think as a collective, well, I just think with me, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about you, Anderson, because obviously you hurt Ella. I don't know how I feel about you, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because she really ain't feeling you right now. And all the girls called him Satan, the devil. Oh, he got a vacation, out of hell. So I didn't know what to think. I'm like, well, damn, what did he do to this girl? You know what I'm saying? And then we realized it came off like it was a really big misunderstanding. He got a job offer while her life was spiraling down. He really didn't want to tell her, the great things that was happening with him because he didn't want her to, he felt like that he was going to put even more pressure on her or to shine a light, while her light was dimming. So I could understand that. But at the same time, you just don't hop and go to another country, my dude, without really explaining what's going on, how we going to maintain our relationship. But, he did what he did. And we were able to see that, to see their love make a full circle. They started back having sex and she made sure he understood we're just sleeping together. We're not together. But by the show season finale, Ella and Anderson were a couple again. Now, my only thing with this is I don't know if they got back together too quickly. But, if there's a season 2, hopefully we'll be able to see that. So let's get to Sandy. Honestly, I believe that she has the most complex storyline, and here's why. She's in a relationship with her advisor. I think she's getting her doctorate, I believe. But she's in a relationship with her advisor, and she has been for the past 2 years. She's been a consistent presence in his daughter's life as well. It seems to me that Sandy is trying to hold true to who she believes she is without losing herself in Matthew's world, which is, the name of her dude. So Baptiste is a professional. Baptiste is a professor at the college. And so I believe that Baptiste was a perfect addition to this storyline because she's the only person on the show, in my opinion, who challenges Sandy's way of thinking. Sandy is very intelligent. She's very smart. But Baptiste challenges her in a way that I don't think her friends do or Matthew. And so it started with the narrative of fucking up, which I don't agree with, but it made great thinking pieces and discussion material. Like I said, you want to know more, make sure you watch the show, streaming on Starz. So Baptiste made it appear that Matthew dated a student in the past by telling Sandy that her food was better than the one before her. I would have had some thoughts about that as well. So when Sandy and Matthew were going to bed that night, there seemed to be a level of vulnerability that neither one of them wanted to explore. He could tell that something was bothering Sandy, but he did not push the issue. She led with the question of, have you thrown a party like this before? When it did not appear that was the real question that she wanted to ask. The real question was, have you dated a student before? And I believe she did ask him. And he, said no or whatever. Like some girls were trying to get with him, but, he didn't take the bait. But he really wanted Sandy to connect with Baptiste because he felt like Baptiste would really be good for her. So Sandy kept her word and she met with Baptiste regarding the possibility of her being her advisor because Sandy and Matthew were outed about dating. And since they're dating, he can no longer be her advisor. So Baptiste brought up Sandy's dissertation. And even though Sandy did all the research and she wrote it and all of that, it was Matthew's voice that the dissertation was being written from. And so Baptiste wasn't interested in Matthew's voice. She know what he sounds like. She know what he's interested in professionally. But she was interested in Sandy's voice and her preferred area of study. So it made me wonder if her and Matthew ever talked about her personal interest, or was everything filtered through his lenses? Was everything filtered through, his preferred, area of study, the things that made him happy, the things that made him, become this great professor. So I thought that was a really great driving point that Baptiste spoke about. What's your voice? And then it made me, think even a little bit deeper about, have we heard Sandy's voice at all through the, I think it was 7 or 8 episodes, or have everything been filtered through Matthew's? I think it's very important because depending upon who you're with, you tend to adapt to how they are, what they want. And then sometimes you can lose yourself within, that time frame that you're with someone. So I am interested to see what's going to happen with that relationship. So overall, I didn't want to make this video long. Overall, Run the World is a great show. It really is a great show. I think it takes a different perspective from most shows that are led by Black women. I think that it is such an intelligent show about these women who may not know what they want at all times, that may not, always make the right decisions, that may intentionally put themselves in certain situations where they may not come out on top, but they're willing to take that chance. And so I really appreciated, what I'm saying, this show. It was definitely something that I feel that was needed. It was definitely refreshing. It was definitely a different perspective. And I think just the fact that it's shot in Harlem, it encompasses all of that, like the nightlife, the colors, the dancing, the music. It was just an experience. And being that I have, visited Harlem and I've been there before, it definitely just got everything right with the show. I think it's just superb. And I am definitely waiting for season 2 to run around. I think that overall, I think it needs to be promoted more. I think a lot of people just don't know about this show, and it is a gem of a show that I think people should be talking about, that I think should be trending. It should be trending on Twitter because it's that good. It's that good. So if you listening to this video, I encourage you, make sure you go check out Run the World on Starz and stream all the episodes. Watch it. You can comment under this video. Tell me what you think about the show. Because definitely if it gets renewed, which I think it will be for season 2, I'm definitely going to review this show. So, yeah, that's what I got. Just real quick to the point. Great show, great storylines, great colors, good looking men, all that good stuff. And, I will holler at y'all later. Until next time. One.